26 million of us go through its doors every single week.
Oh yeah, would you like to try any hot cross bun? Go on.
Oh, why not? Cheers, thank you very much.
But with supermarkets more competitive than ever,
I like to shop at Lidl's, actually.
history counts for nothing.
Retail is changing beyond all recognition. Businesses that don't adapt fast enough will ultimately decline.
The fact that you have to buy a celery in a plastic bag is ridiculous.
During a crucial year, this retail giant has allowed cameras behind the scenes.
You're going to meet Her Majesty the Queen.
Really? Really?
As they attempt to grow their business. Try to woo new customers.
Oh, you've made my day.
Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no, yes, OK.
Hi, can I introduce myself? Thank you.
And work together to stop themselves slipping behind their rivals.
The M5's closed at the minute. Stores are screaming out for their products. It's pressurised.
You have chosen a very eventful day.
We are in a little bit of trouble.
Customers, please make their way to the checkout. Thank you.
Inside the supermarket. A delivery lorry on a motorway, then a large supermarket at Hedge End, Southampton.
Hedge End in Hampshire is one of the company's largest branches.
£2.40 for 4 mugs, that's a good bargain. I can drink coffee out of a thick mug, but I've got to have tea out of a thin china cup. It's part of being a princess, I think. I think that's what it is.
There are 625 members of staff.
Hello, morning, morning, morning. Is anyone in there? No. Right, let's go.
And Becky is the manager of this 70,000 square foot superstore.
Morning, you OK? You right, Louis? So I've worked with Sainsbury since 2000. I joined as a customer services manager. Yeah, I do feel a mother hen sometimes when you're galvanising everybody to come together. Morning, guys, you right? Hi, Andy. And it's not all plain sailing, and it's not all happy days.
Becky's biggest challenge is that the store was built nearly 30 years ago.
So our fresh foods, the format of our fresh foods is actually we've got too much space. I don't necessarily need that much space. So the layout is not consistent with our up-to-date formats now. It hasn't been for some time, probably about the last 15 years. It's very dated. You know, this is old format supermarket. I know how it could look and how much more we could actually sell.
Annoying.
Yeah.
Head office, London.
In London, company management are also concerned. They believe Hedge End's layout is affecting its sales figures, and heads of department are meeting to discuss its future.
Louisa, I can hear you from down the corner. Huh?
Patrick is the director of group property, and any store improvements come out of his budget. Today he's being pitched a plan for Hedge End.
Yeah, let's go. Hedge End. Louisa, kick it off.
Hedge End is a large 70,000 square foot store and one of our busiest flagships. We want to introduce some exciting new offers under this one roof in this one store. So a 4,000 square foot Argos and an improved clothing range and also a new beauty department.
Not cheap by the sounds of it.
No, it comes in at just under £5.5 million.
5.5 million seems a lot of money. You're proposing we continue to trade?
Yes.
And we're going to build a new supermarket while we trade the store?
Yeah.
20 weeks?
Yeah.
Wow. I think you should be aiming for 5 million. You know, and if you can get it under 5 million without compromising the quality, the product or the offer, I think. And then the timelines, 20 weeks, you know, is a big chunk of the year. And we know it crossover, so, you know, could we set ourselves a target and look at what would it take to make it happen in 16 weeks?
The refurbishment is part of a new company strategy to attract shoppers by creating more departments and concession brands like Habitat. But it's a costly plan.
We're building a new supermarket from the inside out. We would jointly sign this off today.
It's a good investment from our point of view, yeah. It's going to solve a lot of the ongoing problems that we've got in stores. That's good.
We should give it a green for go.
It's great.
Good stuff. Well done.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
The company's strategy to compete with rivals by offering more departments in stores has become even more important since the merger with Asda fell through. But for the staff at Hedge End, it's a mixed blessing.
So the refit will be starting after the bank holiday. Yes, finally, the Hedge End refit. Yay!
Are there any plans at all that the store is going to have to close even for a couple of days to do
No.
the final? We're not going to close?
No, we're not. Please don't underestimate the amount of disruption. It will be extremely difficult. So we've just got to manage ourselves through that and still serve our customers in the way that we want to. Any questions on all of that? It is disruption for our customers, but also disruption for us. We're going to give Next and Marks & Spencer's a run for their money on their non-food products, so their home products. It's going to be hard work, and I know that we'll do it. Good, good. Thank you very much.
Okay.
The store entrance.
Management are hoping that the refurbishment will lure shoppers away from their competitors, including the M&S right next door.
Good evening, this is a customer announcement. The time is 11 o'clock and the store is now closed. Can all remaining customers please make their way to the checkouts? Thank you.
The disruption is going to be huge. We're replenishing 24 hours a day to enable our contractors to do building works overnight. Their window of opportunity is very small. When we're closing at 11 to when the online shoppers are shopping from 4 o'clock, they've only got 5 hours.
Trading through the refit is a challenge, but with a weekly turnover of £1.7 million, the company thinks closing is an option it can't afford.
If we close, our customer base, we'd just be sending them to competitors.
I guess in the current market, that's...
We wouldn't want to do that.
Employees stacking the supermarket shelves, a light flashing in the car park at night, then a procession of black cabs, and a bird's eye view of the head office building in London.
As well as revamping their stores, the company is also looking to win over customers by predicting new trends.
We have 95 brands that have got in touch.
The Future Brands team was set up last year, tasked with trying to find and sign up innovative products before their rivals do.
The one I also want to get your guys' feedback on is a chocolate bar which is 75% less sugar than the average chocolate bar equivalent. There is a demand from our customers that they want different. All the growth in the market is coming from the small brands. The big established brands, actually, customers are turning their backs on a bit. I think this is interesting, but I just don't think it's going to sell. Maybe we take a step back and just kind of think, is this a good proposition for our customers?
Taking on new products is a risk, so the team are choosing a shortlist to trial in store, and they've mocked up a shelf to help finalise the 11 brands they'll test out.
I think we've got too many chocolate brownies.
People like chocolate brownies. £4 for a meal replacement bar.
I think there are probably too many products. I don't think.
Yeah, I agree. Why don't we go for vanilla chocolate, chocolate and savoury?
For the brands selected, a successful trial could lead to a contract worth £500,000.
Hello, Dan speaking.
Hi Dan, it's Tom here from Sainsbury's. How are you doing?
Hey Tom, yeah, good mate, yeah, really good.
I'd like to say congratulations, you've made it to the next round of the trial bay.
Awesome. That's awesome. Cannot wait. I am over the moon, by the way.
Awesome. I can hear your kids. I can hear your kids in the background.
Shall I do the barcodes?
Yeah. The entrepreneur who's just been given the good news is Dan. He runs his fledgling business with his wife Jen.
What it means is basically we've got an in to a potential really big opportunity.
A former marketing manager, Dan's product is a luxury snack designed to accompany alcoholic drinks.
You walk into a pub now and there is the most amazing craft beers produced by microbrewers, and there's still just a bag of crisps in a cardboard box. I just thought it could be so much better. So this is basically it's an authentic Spanish chorizo from northwest Spain in a town called Lugo, but it's got the most beautiful flavoured fat, actually.
The supermarket wants to trial 2 of Dan's product lines, chorizo thins and salami chips.
So this is like the official order coming through the official system. Yes. So 174 cases of each, please. Jen? Hello?
I'm just panicking.
Yeah. So 150. So 174 of each.
Okay.
Yeah. So Sainsbury's orders in. So 174 of each.
It's the biggest order they've ever received.
Didn't get changed.
It's the glamorous changing room.
Yes, the glamorous changing rooms. Yeah.
Each portion of their slow-cooked chorizo is packed by hand, so Dan has called in his family to help.
My lovely friends and family are basically all down here helping.
We're just so proud of what's going on. The link with Sainsbury's is fantastic. I just wish him well, yeah.
I can't wait to see my son's products on the shelf, actually. Yeah.
If we get into a permanent listing, the payoffs could be really significant for us. We've got the opportunity to show what our products can do. It's amazing.
Packets of salami chips, then the rooftops of London stretching away.
In today's market, one of the most crucial areas for future planning is Christmas. It's the key battleground among retailers, with £80 billion expected to be spent in the last 6 weeks of the year.
Yeah, this one was quite good.
Carrying the responsibility of delivering the company's Christmas message is Senior Campaign Manager Laura.
A TV ad.
I think John Lewis are often the poster child of Christmas ads, and they're the ones that have kind of had a number of successes over the years.
A piano's unwrapped in the John Lewis Christmas advert from 2018.
And they really kick off that phenomenon, which is great for us because we want to be part of that conversation. I mean, equally, John Lewis is not necessarily a kind of key competitor for us.
This year, we've travelled the country asking, what's your M&S Christmas favourite?
At Christmas, we are competing against the guys we compete against all year. Aldi, the Lidl, the Asda, Morrison's, Tesco's, M&S.
On a dark Christmas night in times medieval lived a rotten old parsnip, the root of all evil.
I do admire what Aldi do. You know, they've got this asset in kind of Kevin the Carrot. I think customers just love that.
Last year, the company's ad, which Laura oversaw, was popular, but it didn't have the impact they'd hoped. So this time, pressure is high.
The ad itself was extremely well liked. So people loved the show, made me laugh, made me smile. All about Christmas, but I don't get necessarily why Sainsbury's were telling me about this. What's it got to do with food and what we sell?
We only get what we give.
Laura has called in the agency who made the ad for a full debrief and to make a plan for this year.
We spent ages carefully planning out an emotional narrative arc between a mother and a nervous daughter, and the show was stolen by a giant jumping plug, which I think isn't just a random occurrence. I think we can joke about it, but what we should learn there is that a bit of unexpected humour goes a long way, and tear-jerking isn't kind of the only emotional response that people are looking for at Christmas.
I more and more think that tearjerker has to be part of the story. I think you can be funny as well. The sort of elf analogy of elf's hilarious, but also there's a heartwarming moral. And I don't think it's to imitate John Lewis, but I think all the ones that have done really well in the past have had that power.
Laura's first Christmas ad was the one made in 2014. It told the story of the truce on Christmas Day at the start of the First World War.
My name is Jim. My name is Otto.
It had so much coverage. I mean, we had a double-page spread in The Sun that said something like, is this the best ad ever made? Which obviously I still have. But just actually that kind of coverage you can't get.
Happy Christmas. Frohe Weihnachten.
It's had over 20 million views online.
The hardest bit is how do you create something that customers are going to like and something that's going to be remembered by them. Kind of also having to beat every year that has come before you and, you know, say something different and say something better. You'd have to convince me quite hard to move away from heartwarming emotion.
The agency's been given a clear steer by Laura. It's now up to them to go away and work up some ideas.
A powerful, heartwarming, the spirit of Christmas emotion, I think, is core. The end.
A motorway curving through wooded countryside, then the tills at the Hedge End store in Southampton.
Did you find everything this morning? Because they've started moving everything about ready for the refit.
In Hampshire, the race is on to get the Hedge End store refurbished quickly. And the heavy-duty work of turning it into the company's vision of the future has started.
Argus is coming here, and what else is coming here?
So you've got Specsavers coming here, we've got Simpsons coming, they've got a restaurant, like a fresh kitchen, they've got extending the cafe, we're doing lots of stuff. It'll be like a West Key shopping centre in here.
But while the team are optimistic, manager Becky knows that staying open during the refit is a risk.
I'm the go-between between the refit and the customer. And that's what I've got to manage.
Too much disruption and she could lose trade to her nearest rivals.
Those loyal customers have an expectation of us, so we've just got to be very careful that we're not upsetting them.
Milk, yeah, the milk, literally. Where that lady's going, there's the yoghurt fridge, go past that, it's on that side there. That's all right, no problem.
The transformation means they're moving all 40,000 items in the store, but many of them have been in the same place for nearly 30 years.
Yeah, that's open today, literally. It's just on the left-hand side.
Becky's plan to keep her customers happy involves floor walkers, who'll show shoppers where things have moved to.
On the back wall where that poke is. Thank you.
Oh my word. Don't like it when they can't find something.
A member of staff spots a sign for customer services.
Ooh, I say.
Even the temporary customer service desk is causing problems.
Are you waiting for customer services? Yep. That's a good start. My till's not working. Now I am going to cry.
She taps at the till while the customer waits.
Oh, I give up. I'm losing the will to live here, big time.
You're right.
Yeah, I'm not happy. My scanner don't work. I've got no tannoy, I've got no PC, and I've got half a till. And I hate working like this. It's horrible.
How can we make it easier for you whilst it's going on?
Have the food together.
Yeah.
And not all those blooming clothes in the meantime. And it's so frustrating. Yeah.
You think you'll stay shopping and see out the refit?
Yeah, I'll suffer. I'll moan, but I'll suffer.
You are bound to get the odd customer that doesn't like it. Again, it's a change thing, but once it's up and running, it will be fine. It's either that or what, close the store for 2 months to get it done? I'm sorry, I think this is better.
But for Becky, there's a long way to go until she sees the light at the end of the tunnel.
I'm just down buying milk and I've not got any floor walker here. No, yeah, he's not here and nobody's here. I've got no sign because I've got customers walking around me saying, where's the milk, where's the milk? And we wonder why customers are, yeah.
How are you feeling about how it's going today?
No comment.
Becky grins and makes a call. In the cafe,
2 teas, please. 2 teas, 2 pots of tea.
While shoppers struggle on, one area that will be closing in order to be refurbished is the cafe. But this isn't making customers happy either.
It will be quite a big wrench for us. It means a lot to me because I can bring my mum here once a week. Gives mum time to come out, bit of socialising, see people.
As long as they don't change the staff, we'll be all right.
Yeah.
And also coming out is a way of breaking the ice. You get to know the staff. And there's nothing worse than spending the day by yourself and having nobody to talk to. With 8 people like that, life would have been very, very difficult. Oh, I'm sorry.
It will be a big change for 87-year-old Alan, who's a regular since his wife died last year.
Lovely guy, you know, he comes in, he loves to smile. He's bought a few of the girls in here and me some flowers, you know, so appreciative, you know, because we talk to him and that. Yeah, he's lovely. I'm going to miss him. A lot of them are not happy we're shutting. They say, can't you open just a little bit?
A sign reads, "We're making improvements to your store. Thanks for bearing with us." In London.
Hi guys, how you doing? Good to see you. Andrew.
In London, the next stage of the Future Brands trial is underway.
First thing to say is congratulations, because we are doing something pretty historic.
The chosen producers have been invited to head office for a briefing about the crucial weeks ahead.
We are trialling new concepts, new brands. The first time we've ever done anything like this. We will be looking for sales and profit. That is the biggest measurement of performance that we have in our business. The most important thing for you all to do throughout the trial, you know, it's like how are you going to increase sales the whole time. The buyer will then decide on the future of the trial brand. We have to manage expectations here that not all of you will be successful. We hope that all of you will be, but it's as much a trial for you guys as it is for us. And then the last thing to say is good luck.
Among the products on trial, there's alcoholic kombucha, vegan brownies, and Dan with his meat snacks. Another aspiring entrepreneur is Andrew.
A sign above a cafe reads, "Philippa's Kitchen."
A former marketing director, Andrew's put everything on the line to launch a new business selling tea.
So Tea Rex is a fruit tea made of just fresh fruits and roots, never dehydrated, basically.
He started his business 3 years ago.
I went from a stable, pretty well-paid job in the city. For the first year, I worked from home and packed from home and made the product from home. Family and friends, I think they thought I was a little bonkers to try and change a category and take a product which has effectively been the same for 200-300 years. To get the Sainsbury's contract would be a total game changer. The size, the scale, the exposure. There's 169 million cups of tea drunk in the UK every day. 0.1% of that would make a pretty healthy business.
From Andrew slicing ingredients at home to employees at Sainsbury's in Wallington, South London.
Taste the Future products. Going out today.
In the Wallington store, the stock for the Future Brands trial is making its way to the supermarket shelves.
Lots of new and different products that you wouldn't find elsewhere.
Someone asks, "What is that?"
I don't know.
The trial is now live, with 69 stores taking part, as Sainsbury's test whether any of these brands sell well enough to be given a permanent listing.
Sounds quite nice.
Some of the staff are using their break to road test Andrew's fresh fruit tea.
Right, let's have a look.
What's the instructions?
Where's the filter?
Look, this must be it. Put it on the mug.
They struggle with the packaging.
This isn't a quick cup of tea and go, is it? Oh, it does smell nice.
Oh, I see. Got it. It's quite sensible, really.
Well, should we try it? And
A lot of ginger ale.
no, I cannot smell ginger. Just lemon. It is nice.
Yeah, no, I'll get the lemon now.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
So we're drinking the same drink.
It's quite nice, actually.
Smoked seaweed.
But the real test is whether the brands wow the customers.
Who do you think might buy this kind of stuff? Probably organic people. An elderly woman adds, healthy eating people, yeah.
Who would buy it? Certainly not a family. Someone single, somebody.
Yeah, not in this short place, not Sainsbury, I think. Chorizo fins? They look pretty good.
A customer reaching for Dan's made-for-drink chorizo thins. Then the dome of St Paul's Cathedral and the bustling streets of Shoreditch, East London.
Laura and her team are also looking for bold new ideas. They've come for a pitch meeting about the company's Christmas ad. Their agency has made campaigns for Nike and Diet Coke and produced the company's last 2 Christmas adverts.
I mean, they've done 2 Christmases now, and it might be that someone's just had a really good idea.
Today's meeting is about finding that spark of an idea that Laura's team can buy into.
There always is.
Really sorry, we've never met.
Oh, sorry.
I'm Tom.
As well as I am.
Tom.
I'm also Tom. Nice to meet you all.
I'm Laura.
So I chatted about earlier, we've got a range of work. There's going to be a lot of stuff in there, stuff we're feeling good about, but maybe kind of not as developed as it could be. So let's chat about what you guys are liking, and then we can move on from there.
Okay, 1. 2019 is going to be a toughie. We do not need to go over why, but that elephant in the room is Brexit. We are more divided than ever. Families are at war. Christmas is at stake. But the worst times call for the best Christmases. We will supercharge the best day of the year. We're adding pancetta to Sprouts. We're putting solar-powered Santa on the roof. We're buying cinnamon sticks, because this one is going to be the best Christmas ever.
Knowing time limits will rattle through because we have got a lot of ideas in the different routes. Sainsbury's emergency elves. So what if the Sainsbury's elf delivered anything you had forgotten on Christmas, from batteries to Sprouts to the bottle of port? What if we told the story of a teenager who's super grumpy all year, but at Christmas he sees that his mum is struggling, so he decides that this year he's going to try and bring some Christmas cheer? What if we appeal to Piers Morgan to please just shut up for the day? If he can manage it, we'll donate 50 grand to a charity of his choice. What if pulling a cracker with someone could symbolise overcoming differences? So, we did a little research and we found out that this year, on the 19th of December, the new Star Wars is coming out. What if we took the biggest humbug of all time, that is Darth Vader, and basically showed him transforming because it's Christmas?
This is something that would just be incredible to make. And seeing him, oh, actually, he lives in Milton Keynes and he does use oven gloves, or he's cutting the cake with a lightsaber, is just outrageous and brilliant.
Best Christmas ever to me, Asda. Yeah. I feel like they've done something swimmer, and I feel like the ideas there are potentially lack the depth of emotion. Like, it's a bit about stuff. It's not about like the most amazing Brussels sprouts ever. It's the power of Brussels sprouts bringing people together, or whatever it might be.
What do you think about Darth Vader?
I'm just worried we're focusing too much on a character, but I can see the joy and the fun, and you've got a huge following, so getting that following on board as well. I'm not sure that's where I see us.
I see how it could be really funny. I don't know if can it have the emotional, the heartstring pull as well?
I think, can we catch up? Like, we'll catch up tomorrow. I'll come back with some collated feedback to you guys. Loads of food for thought, so thank you.
Yeah. Great. Cool. Thanks very much. Thank you.
Head office in London, campaign manager Donna's with marketing propositions manager Lizzie.
The following morning, Laura and her team discuss the ideas pitched to them.
So, having slept on it, what do you guys think?
Nothing really resonated with me.
None of them, I didn't feel like, oh wow, that's it,
no,
or anything.
The Darth Vader, I think, got a bit closer. I just get a bit nervous about partnerships like this, because so M&S did Paddington, and I think it became the Paddington advert.
Yeah.
And even last year, John Lewis did Elton John, and it became the Elton John advert.
Yeah.
What does it mean for Sainsbury's. I just couldn't quite.
But I think that was across them all.
Yeah, that was.
We're sort of struggling with maybe where the emotion comes from. I don't know that any of us came out being like, oh my God, we've nailed it, that's the idea. And the bit that's missing for me is what is the message that we're saying? And I kind of would like them to explore that a bit more.
With nothing so far hitting the mark, they need to find an idea in the next few weeks in order to stay on schedule.
Hopefully we can get it within the next response to brief, and we have an idea.
Dan's driving his van along sunny streets in South London.
So our products have launched into Sainsbury's, which is amazing.
The Future Brands trial could be a game changer for snack food producer Dan if he sells enough to convince the company to make a major order.
When you go into a Sainsbury's store, you just think about all the thousands and thousands of products. So I just want to make sure it's got the best chance possible from the word go. For me, this is my livelihood.
Dan's come to Wallington in South London to see how his luxury chorizo and salami snacks are selling.
Let's do it. Okay, so now I'm going to try and find it.
Hidden amongst 30,000 other products.
This is an absolute monster store.
The first hurdle is knowing where to look.
It literally could be anywhere. That'd be perfect in there, wouldn't it? The beer aisle.
He points to a display.
Yeah. Yes, got at least one sale.
Dan's meat snacks cost £2.50 a pack.
I hope as we get to see somebody buying a pack.
Dan grins, then he stands back with his arms folded, watching the Taste of the Future display as customers go about their shopping.
This looks a bit weird, doesn't it? But it might be something you're watching people, my arms crossed. Buy it.
He approaches a shopper.
Yeah, I'm not going to say that actually. It's my little business actually.
Oh, it's yours, is
yeah,
it?
Yeah, this one here, yeah.
Oh.
Do you want to try one? I'm going to open it, I'll buy it. Here, jump in and grab one. With a glass of red wine is awesome.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Yeah.
The trial launched 3 days ago, and getting a permanent contract with the supermarket relies on sales.
What Sainsbury's are hoping for us to do is 3 bags of each per week.
Has anyone sold any already? Yes. They have. 2 went through, 1, 2. Yeah.
At the moment, that's early days, so pretty good.
It's cool.
Yeah. 2's better than none.
This is it.
That's great. Yeah, it's
Until
cool. It's
people
great.
see
Then
it
started,
and know,
yeah.
then more
Brilliant.
will go through.
Yeah, it's great. It's all good. Yeah, it's my livelihood. And if this trial goes well, you know, it could really make us as a business. So, yeah, it's really important.
Andrew's giving away samples of his T-Rex products.
It's fresh fruit tea. You can try them all.
So is this sale in Sainsbury's?
They are in Sainsbury's. We're very lucky. We're on trial at the moment.
The brands being trialled aren't allowed to promote their products in store, so tea producer Andrew has set up right outside the Collier's Wood branch.
This is lemon, ginger, turmeric. Obviously, turmeric being pretty and once again hot. So just.
It's a massive difference. Massive difference, actually.
It's exciting, isn't it? No, this is playing in the Premiership. There's no mean feat to get into, one of the biggest supermarkets in the UK. And one of the most respected names, and it's just it's an amazing opportunity. I'll tell you what, these are £4.50, and you get 7 cups in the pack. We are an expensive product, and we're different, and we're new, and we're innovative. So for us, it's so important that people taste it, and when people taste it, they normally talk about it, and that word of mouth marketing is how we have grown the business from day one.
No, I don't dig it. Nah.
You're a dinosaur, right? You're going to go,
T-Rex, ancient, original.
A customer posing for a photo with Andrew and a T-Rex t-shirt with the slogan King of Taste.
At head office, Future Brands executive Bex has been reviewing the latest sales figures for Dan's luxury meat snacks.
They had a really strong first week of sales, and they've actually dipped off a little bit since then, which is probably not what we'd like to see. We definitely would like to see improvement from there, though, week on week.
Bex is calling him to discuss the figures.
Hiya, Dan. How you doing?
Yeah, good, thank you. Yeah, really good.
For me, what the important thing is that every week we want to see growth.
Yeah.
But at the moment, there doesn't appear to be an overall increase.
I don't know, is that something that's similar across all the brands on the fixture?
It is, yeah. What I'd like to see going forward is that we really need to drive the rate of sale. The go-to to drive rate of sale and volume is obviously promotional activity, just to make sure customers are aware of the product being there.
There's no opportunities to see promotions in store, is there?
Unfortunately not.
There's not, no.
I know, it's frustrating.
Yeah.
All right, cheers, Dan. Speak soon. Bye.
Bye.
Dan ends the call looking pensive. Hedge End, Southampton. A taxi.
What a beautiful day.
Head of the company's refurbishment strategy, Patrick, is on his way to the Hedge End store, where members of Becky's team have been working round the clock.
Have you had any sleep?
Because Becky's store is still open to customers, a lot of the building work happens overnight and when it closes at 4 p.m. on a Sunday.
4 o'clock yesterday?
James did the longest shift. James was here from 7 yesterday morning till 7:30 this morning.
I don't endorse 24-hour shifts. You're not driving home then?
No, I've drunk too much to drive.
Becky laughs. In Patrick's taxi.
We have a very good supermarket, but it needs to be better. So rather than close it, which causes quite a lot of customer dissatisfaction, we decided to build it from the inside out.
Despite the ambition for the store, the refurb has already caused a 5% drop in sales.
It's extremely important that I am here feeding back to the centre the issues that we're having throughout this refit, which is causing major disruption, as well as run the day-to-day shop for our customer.
And what's it doing for your stress levels?
I'm fine.
Thank you very much.
How the store's transformation is handled is crucial, because it's a template Patrick wants to roll out nationwide.
Hey, nice to see you.
You're right.
Long time no see.
Yeah.
Well, you're not looking stressed anyway. Huh?
It's the whiskey.
Yeah, that's for the morning tipple. We go on the hard stuff in the evening. What would you say is the top 3 things that's not gone well for us?
I think, or I believe, so the customers probably believe we should have closed for just a couple of days.
That's always the dilemma.
I know.
For me, closing for 6 weeks, get in.
Oh no, I'm just saying 5 days.
Okay. What's gone well then?
What's gone well? The actual, so the colleagues in the investment into the store. So customers are excited, but they're also disgruntled at what we've done.
We better throw a party when we open.
Well, quite.
Even the areas that are finished are causing problems.
I'm listening in.
Hello.
I hear.
Hello, love.
Laurie.
Yeah.
What would be improved for you if you had?
Slightly bigger shelving. Okay. Slightly deeper. Because usually, if for argument's sake, a customer takes that one, so you take that, they can't see that there's actually 3 or 4 behind you.
Yeah.
Because these, they would slide forward.
Yeah. And they replenish themselves there. No, I get it. It seems a little thing, but it's massive actually. It's quite important. No, this looks fantastic. But until you see it operationally working, how colleagues use it, how customers use it, that bottom shelf is, her inside are perfect. We need to change that. We always say retail is detail, but you just saw an example of a little bit of detail that can make a massive difference for the way we will design our shelving for the future.
Nice chap. Yeah, he got a nice firm hand grip, I have to say. Yeah, very good. And it's nice that guys of his stature can come onto the shop floor and talk to the likes of us to show what his staff needs. He took it on board, and he's going to see a man, apparently, that can try and help us. So that's good.
So far, out of 10, what would you give us all?
10.
I'd never give it 10. 9 will do, but we'll take 10. What would customers give us?
Over the last 6 to 8 weeks, they'd probably give us a 4.
Really?
Yeah.
That's not good.
No.
4 to 10 is probably lower than I would have expected. Customers are more disappointed than we had hoped for.
We just got to get them back afterwards.
Good stuff. Thanks, Becky. Thanks for your time. No, thank you. It's been lovely.
A poster advertising Dan's Snacks in Chiswick, West London.
Oh, here we go. Sweet. That's awesome. I didn't realise that was going to be there, actually. Double whammy.
With his sales in the Future Brands trial dropping off, meat snack producer Dan has taken matters into his own hands.
It's all 8 sites down the Chiswick High Road. It feels really strange to see our brand on posters like this. I don't know, it feels kind of, it feels a bit surreal, actually. You know, it's basically been about £2,000 for a 4-week kind of campaign. That is 2,000 bags you've got to sell. Yeah.
And if this doesn't pay off?
Then I will learn from my mistakes.
Dan's hoping his investment will turn into sales in the nearby branch.
So this is the trial bay, and that's where we're supposed to be, on here. Yeah, a good thing that we're sold out. The marketing's working, basically. Yeah, that's really good. It'd be a worse situation to come in here and it's literally packed up and nobody's even bothered to even try it.
Dan's also taken a gamble and bought extra machinery, so he's ready if the company gives him a permanent place on the shelves.
Yeah, to increase our operational capacity, we've basically invested probably close to £75,000 recently, which is hence the gravelly voice, slightly wrinkles and that kind of stuff, keeping you up at night. If Sainsbury's comes off, that instantly all pays off and it becomes worth it. Yeah, I can pay myself a salary. You know, I could do things like that. That would be, it's just those. So that the prospect of it happening is really exciting, and as a result, does make you nervous, right?
Wimbledon, southwest London.
On the other side of London, another Future Brands hopeful is also going for broke.
Oh, where is the dinosaur?
Andrew, a former marketing director, has decided to ramp up his campaign.
The challenges are our product's new, so it's going to take time for people to find it. You've got to get cut through, and it's a very cluttered market, so you've got to be a little bit ballsy.
The conditions of the trial make clear that no in-store marketing is allowed. But rules are made to be broken.
Andrew puts on a T-Rex t-shirt over a dinosaur costume.
And once it's fully done...
Here he is. That is the best £80 we have ever spent.
I'm going to smash those lights on it.
Andrew's headed to Collier's Wood to carry out his plan. But he's not alone. He's enlisted a group of art students and is filming it to post online.
The T-Rexes troop through a store and pick up packs of Andrew's products.
Oh my God, there's loads of them! I know from working in the corporate world that this probably wouldn't have been approved off the bat. It's a bit of a gamble on our behalf because it's a piece of content which is probably a little bit more risque. Having said that, the response we've had has been absolutely amazing to 20 dinosaurs, going into their store.
Andrew's got people's attention, but he will have to wait to find out if his stunt translates into sales.
Shoreditch, East London.
Another team hoping for a positive sales impact is the one working on the Christmas ad. But after an inconclusive pitch from their agency, the company now needs to hear a winning idea.
And I think at this stage we're really hoping to see something where we're like, yes, we've got it, that's the idea, and kind of take it forward into production, really. That's a bit of a test of today, is kind of, do we in the room get that sort of goosebumps, hairs back and neck moment? Yeah.
They enter the Wyden and Kennedy agency.
This year is the company's 150th Christmas, and Laura has asked the agency to work up an idea with this in mind.
We thought about the 150 element of the year being such a big deal, and was there a way to kind of incorporate that, this huge moment really for Sainsbury's, in a way that's going to kind of put it on the map really around the Christmas period.
And the fact that you've been there for more Christmases than anyone else is just a beautiful thing. That is a truth, that there's such a nice thing to own, which sort of set us off down this path and this route.
So we have a story of it, and it begins 150 years ago. Nicholas Origins.
We approach the magnificent-looking original Sainsbury's store, which glows bright in the grubby Dickensian town. Down the chimney of the world's first supermarket, two young chimney sweeps are mucking about as they sweep the last of the soot down. Their evil workmaster steals a sack of exotic, glowing clementines. Ho, ho, ho! On this day, 24th of December, the year 1869, Nicholas the Sweet was caught red-handed thieving. What shall we do with him?
The agency's idea links the first ever store to a mythical tale about how Mary Ann Sainsbury saves a little boy who turns into Father Christmas.
He pulls a tattered red bobble hat from his jacket pocket and puts it on his head as he walks away into the snowy future. The Sainsbury's logo bleeds up, helping make Christmas, Christmas, since 1869.
Yeah, I got proper goosebumps from that. That's clever. Yeah.
That's the feeling you'll get. Like that Dickensian, like pure Christmas visual world could be brought to life through this in every single way. So the food, the money, the language all builds on this like 150th Sainsbury's Christmas.
It's lovely. It's got bags of emotion. The Sainsbury's role is unquestionably clear. I really like the since 1869 sort of approach.
I love it. I do really like it.
It's a really nice. Yeah, I think it's great. I probably got goosebumps when they were reading the script, so I think that's a bit of a test of just being like, yeah, this is
Just
we're
really
onto something.
resonated with
Yeah,
me.
I think this really ticks all the boxes.
Sainsbury's is there. It's the role. It's you've got product, you've got branding, and we've been there for 150 years.
The hard work starts now, probably.
At Hedge End, Southampton, Becky's near the store entrance, where a table's been laid out with cake, glasses and bottles of cava.
Oh, okay, there's the scissors. Yeah, they're not going to work, are they?
Back in Hedge End, the big day has finally arrived for Becky and her team.
I had images of them being like inflatable or something when you said you got a massive pair of scissors. What's happening today? It's opening day.
In the end, it did take 20 weeks to complete the company's largest ever inside-out transformation.
Okay, last minute touches.
With the relaunch in just a few hours, Manager Becky is checking everything is ready.
GM clothing are fabulous.
But not everything is perfect.
There's equipment left from checkouts and staff need to find from Davis to get rid of that. The fire exit is too congested down that end. How is that thing cleaned?
That does not look like it's been
That's
cleaned.
not cleaned. There's all the ice build up. Like that. They haven't done that side.
As far as the company is concerned, this is now a destination store. But after all the disruption, it must see an increase in customers and sales.
3, 2, 1.
A photographer's on hand as a large orange ribbon bearing the Sainsbury's logo is cut with scissors.
Thank you. Thank you for your hard work. It's been a long journey, but we got there, and I'm very proud of all our colleagues, and let's wow our customers and get that loyalty back. So thank you very much. Very proud moment for Sainsbury's Hedge End, yes.
Staff applaud, then a bottle is opened and drinks are handed out.
For Minnie, who has worked here for 19 years, the changes are huge.
Now this is something I'm going to have to get into, this sushi. Yeah, I've never tried it. Well, morning ladies. Just having a look at all your lovely stuff. Well impressed. It looks better than the pictures, actually. Oh, my feet all dangle.
Oh, nice cup of coffee here, man, eh?
It is nice. Oh, I better put their display back, hadn't I? People have got busy lives. They can't be faffed going here, there and everywhere. They want to come and get it. And if you haven't got it, they'll go somewhere else. So you better up your game and make sure you've got it. So, see, this is the thing we don't understand. Magazines with toilet rolls.
There's no logic to this.
No.
Or if you read your magazine
On the toilet. Yeah. Well, some people have said that to us.
Please help yourself. Got carver, orange juice.
A customer browses clothing.
Now it's done, it just seems so much bigger.
and yeah, it's 100% better, which I never thought was going to happen when it was being done, but it is. It's good. Yeah.
The fact that it's clean, tidy, new is just wonderful, actually. Girls, yeah, you're happy with your new bakery?
A sign reads Fresh Kitchen.
On its first day, the new cafe is doing a roaring trade.
Mike, they're ready. Busy?
It's good, isn't it?
First day, yeah, it's nice. All our regulars have come back as well, which is lovely.
And Alan is enjoying his usual.
First impressions, excellent.
What do you reckon?
Oh, I love it. It's great. Just getting used to everything different.
Glasses of bubbly being poured. Becky.
It's the end of what's been quite a difficult transition, but yeah, I think we pulled it off. Really proud of what the colleagues have achieved.
How are you feeling?
She props an eye open and grins. Dan's walking along a city street with a box of made-for-drink products under his arm.
Probably got one of the biggest meetings of my career.
The Future Brands trial is over, and Dan has been called in to find out whether the company is going to offer him a contract for his luxury snacks.
Having started this business in my village hall, we're now about to meet the buyer who can make it as quite a big decision for our business. So to roll us out into a number of Sainsbury stores. Yeah, I'm nervous basically. Yeah, to be honest. That's one of the main feelings, but I'm also incredibly excited.
But there's just a lot of meat-based snacking at the moment. Yeah.
The Future Brands team have handed over the sales figures to the company's buyers. They have the power to decide if Dan's product will get a permanent listing.
All day, all us buyers are trying to do is just find the new thing. There's a lot more no's than there are yeses, so it's quite a big deal and it's quite high risk to be able to give someone a listing.
A permanent place on the shelves could be worth up to £500,000 for Dan.
Yeah, you're kind of here for the team as much as anything. You know, I feel like I'm representing a much bigger purpose. Yeah, fingers crossed, yeah.
Lydia, buyer, nuts and snacking.
Hi,
hello.
Dan?
Yeah, how you doing?
How are you doing?
Yeah, good.
Should we head upstairs? I've got a room booked.
Let's do it, yeah, cool, thanks.
That's everything that's we need on the spot. Yeah, so we'll just go in here.
Cool.
The trial tested out 2 of Dan's lines, chorizo and salami.
Meat snacking is growing.
Yep.
It's growing significantly, and you're definitely coming into an area where people want to. There's a lot of development coming through. Yeah. Actually, we've got to a place where I think we can confirm listing of 2 of the lines.
First of all, that's amazing. Thank you very much.
Right.
Yeah. So
You can go and get a glass of Rioja after this if you want. It's exciting.
It's
Bit
really
scary.
exciting. Bit scary, amazing. Yeah, it's really fantastic. Thank you so much. It's amazing. Just roughly, how many stores do you think that may be?
I'm going to try and get it into about 450, I think.
Amazing. Yeah, we're going to be making a lot of trips, things. Thanks.
Exciting.
Yeah, it's really exciting. Thanks so much. Lydia. Really look forward to working with you.
Coming in. Speak to you
Cheers.
soon.
Take care.
Bye.
Thanks a lot. Bye.
Hopefully, this is the start of a really big brand. He seemed quite pleased at the end. I just hope he's got the stock.
1st of January launch.
1st of January?
Yeah, amazing, eh?
That is ridiculous, isn't it?
Yeah, amazing. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's really good. Yeah, it kind of feels like massive accumulation of so much work by everybody over the last 3 years. So, and I think it's just the start of something much bigger, actually. Yeah, our dreams come true. yeah, have our dreams come true. Yeah. So it's quite an incredible thing, actually.
Dan is one of 3 businesses from the Future Brands trial who've won lucrative contracts.
From the glass-fronted head office building to Andrew's Victorian terraced house.
In South London, Andrew has received an email about his T-Rex brand.
Ultimately, we're not proceeding with a listing at the moment. We haven't been able to, sell as many units as required. We definitely need to take stock. We need to review the product and the proposition. This is a bit of a kicker, but we'll, we know that there's an opportunity there.
Outside the Hedge End branch, Patrick puts a stray trolley with the others.
Can't help it. the OCD in me, it just can't help it.
It's 5 weeks since the relaunch, and Group Property Director Patrick has come to see if the £5 million investment is paying off.
So I'm looking to hear if, like-for-likes this year versus last year are the same or better. I'd expect them to be better, but that's the acid test. I don't actually know. Normally I might know, but I don't actually know them until she tells me, so it should be fun.
Yeah. It's really encouraging. We're looking at 5-6% like-for-like.
Year on year.
Year on year, and that's been brilliant, and we're beating our sales budgets. The beauty departments, that's been fantastic.
Yeah.
We're the biggest on the company in terms of our sales.
Customers are back, they're liking it, they're shopping with us, like-for-likes are up.
Yes.
And we get a bit of feedback as to when we do the next one, so I always knew we would get there.
A grinning member of staff.
Customers are now loving it. This is a winning format for us, and our job is to get it rolled out across the country as quickly and as fast as possible.
You managed to find everything today?
Yeah, I'm used to it now.
You've got, I knew it wouldn't take long. I've been told by a friend that works at Tesco's at Bursaldon that they're going to have a refit now as well to keep up with us, so we've started a craze.
Next time...
This is starting to rot.
They look pretty scary come Halloween.
As long as they don't look scary before Halloween.
Lidl is both cheaper and better quality.
The customer service in this store isn't where we want it to be at the moment, is it?
It's just not as well stocked as it used to be.
Action.
How will we know that he's going to put it back and not steal it? There's a lot riding on this moment.
The Open University has produced a